Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Love's Teaching Will Travel. On today's episode, we're looking at transitioning from the classroom to teaching from anywhere. Now, when you hear teaching from anywhere, what does that sound like to you? For me, it sounds like being able to teach from different parts of the world, whether it's teaching in person, in a classroom, or just teaching online, being able to run a classroom online, tutoring online, or creating opportunities for different learners online through English language or different content areas. But being able to teach from anywhere, in my mind, looks like teaching literally from anywhere. Now, where are we in the world of teaching in 2023? That's something that I really want us to think about today. Teachers are on the cusp of a ginormous burnout. They are underpaid, they are overworked, and many educators today are either leaving the workspace, they're leaving the classroom, they're saying, I've had enough, and it's time for me to go in a different direction. There are teachers who are realizing that they have options. And I don't know if this is something new or perhaps that we're being more aware of it as things are changing in education right now, but I feel like teachers are more aware that they have options. And so they're either going into curriculum development or they're doing assessment work, they're going into tech, they're perhaps working as consultants, or maybe even starting their own businesses. So teachers are realizing they have options and they're taking advantage of that. Now, with that said, I think it's important to think about where this will lead us in the future, where we are as far as educators who are trying to support, their fellow teachers in finding options and doing different things, whether it's with platforms like mine or other people, where there are podcasts that are trying to encourage teachers to do things differently or providing them with resources to help them either teach in different countries or teach online. But there are ways that we can really see where we're at as educators in 2023 and where we can be in the future going forward. Now, a little tidbit, I did create a book recently. I've published it. It's a self-published book. It's called Love's Teaching Will Travel: Inspiration to Teach from Anywhere. And as I was creating this book, I was really thinking about not just teachers, but I had educators as a whole in mind. So whether it's paraprofessionals, assistant teachers, teachers in early childhood, teachers in higher education, I really wanted to create a book that would not only inspire, but also heavily inform educators on the options that they do have out there. And I'm not the only one doing it, right? So whether you're interested in my book, which you can get on Amazon, and I will leave a link in the description, or you're interested in other creators who have information, tools, and resources to help you get on your way, there are things available, right, to help teachers get to where they want to be as they navigate where they are currently in 2023 in the field of education. Things are rough. Things are rough right now, right? Whether it's financially, emotionally, economically, things are rough, right? And the ones who are currently paying for it the most are educators. Unfortunately, the policymakers and the people in charge are only trying to find more ways to add more work to our workload, right? So instead of being able to make the changes that they need to, paying us more, providing more resources, giving us more respect, they're adding to our workload, right? As our field continues to hemorrhage, right? As we continue to lose educators, it seems the people in charge are just adding more to our workload because they just can't seem to find people who want to do the work anymore. And I've seen ads, I've seen, newsletters where school districts are like, we need educators, we need professionals, we need people to come in. But they aren't doing anything on the other side of that to create opportunities or incentives for people to want to stay in the field. So it's really scary where we are right now. So on top of the burnout, the lack of respect, it's a matter of just not being heard, right? We're not being heard as far as what our needs are and how they can help us do our jobs better to care for children or care for our students. It just seems they want to add more to the workload. And ultimately, the ones who really suffer down the line are the children. So it's something that I want you to really think about. Like I said, the first question I want you to look at today is, where are we in the world of teaching in 2023? So I gave you some things to think about as far as where we are, but I don't know about your individual situation. So I think it's really important for you to sit down and think about where you are in the field and some changes that you might want to see, some things that you're feeling in your workspace. How are you feeling in your classroom? And if perhaps transitioning out is the thing that you want, right? So for people who have reached a certain pinnacle in their career as far as educators are concerned, perhaps they don't want to transition and teach abroad and go back into another classroom. Perhaps they're looking to completely transition out. Perhaps they're looking to work in a different field, but still work closely in education and still perhaps work and connect with children or adults or people who are still seeking knowledge in some way. And so there are some things that I wanted to add, to this portion of the podcast, which is how to transition. It's important to get prepared, right? It's important to get prepared when it comes to transitioning outside of the classroom. And some of the things that you want to think about is, what are your assets, right? It's important to know your assets, know what those transferable skills are, and how you can translate that to your resume, how you can translate that to a hiring manager, how you will voice the things that you've done, and how they will make a difference to your new employment opportunity or your new environment. And just be able to voice this asset and these transferable skills, because no one's going to be able to do that for you. So first thing you need to do is know your assets and your transferable skills. The next thing I want you to think about is to make sure that you are stating whether your certification is up to date. So on your resume or to the hiring manager or what have you, make sure that you're stating what your certification is, whether it's up to date. You also need to go and check and, be sure to get online and check to see what your expiration date is. If you see that it's coming up, perhaps it's time to take a look at how you can renew and make sure that you're keeping up to date with those credentials. So that's very important. Make sure that your certification and your credentials are up to date. The next thing you want to do is ask your colleagues or your mentors for recommendation letters. And this is across the board. It's not just about asking them for the letter and having a hard copy. It's also important for you to have these things available virtually. So you can either have them fill something out on LinkedIn, you can have them fill something out and send it to you. But you just want to make sure that you reach out to colleagues and mentors about recommendation letters, and you have things, together, so that if they are needed, you can always submit them and always have them useful and ready to go. Also, I want you to do your research. Know where the opportunities are. It's really easy for you to say, okay, I've taught for these many years and I've got this wealth of knowledge and experience. Where do I find a place that's going to help me either A, continue doing the work that I'm passionate about, or B, find a place that will look at me as an asset, as a well-rounded person who can contribute to the space, rather than just being a warm body in a classroom, which honestly, it seems that we have become as educators. It's very sad and disheartening, but this is what I feel we have become. Just another warm body to be in the space, whether to pick up ratio or to be available, to show, hey, there's someone in the classroom, but you want to be able to do your research and know where the opportunities are, and the opportunities that are going to be great and perfect for you and what you're looking for in the long term. And it's important to really see the world, right? So another part of the transition, right, of transitioning out of your classroom is to travel, see the world, seek out places you feel will give you the best life, right? Seek out places that might have things that work for you as far as your work-life balance. Seek out places that you've always dreamed of going to. If you're an adventurous person, I think this is the time to really go out and see what works for you. Where is your happy place, right? So if some of you are travelers like I am and you've gone to many different countries, I'm sure you've figured out by now where your happy place is. If you haven't, I'm suggesting that you get out there. Get out there, see the world, because once you do find that happy place, it's really important to either go back to it, or if that can be the place where you can call home, then being able to teach from anywhere and do the work that you want to do and the work that you're passionate about, it is possible to do this with opportunities that are remote that can help you get to the country that you want to be in and stay there. And if this place is digital nomad friendly and they have visas and things that can help you get through that process, then be sure to do your research, get out there and see the world, because it does help and it does make a difference. Sometimes when the days are a little tougher than others, it's important for me to always reflect back and think about the amazing experiences I've had, the beautiful places I've been, and it just gives me that warm feeling. It's like a warm hug, right? It's like a warm hug, and it just makes me feel like, you know what, everything's gonna be okay, right? The next thing I want you to think about is applying, right? It's important to apply to as many places and as many opportunities as possible. When it comes to transitioning, you don't know what's going to be a good fit. And so if you apply to a variety of different places, a variety of different opportunities, this gives you a chance to find that place that can work for you. So if you're interested in freelance work, I suggest applying to Upwork and looking at opportunities on Upwork. If you're interested in being able to teach virtually, perhaps you're not looking to teach a full 6 hours or 8 hours a day. Guess what? Platforms like OutSchool can help you find ways to teach different subjects, especially subjects that you're certified in, so that you can go out there and continue teaching, but being able to have that flexible schedule to do the things that you want to do around your work-life balance. So applying to as many places as possible and opportunities as possible will only help to increase your chances and your opportunities for finding that right place that's for you, right? And last but not least, be confident. Be confident in yourself and be confident in your abilities. You have done so much. You've accomplished so much. There is a world of opportunities out there for you. And if you are confident in yourself, if you are putting yourself out there and you're sharing your gifts and you're highlighting all the things that you've done and all the things that you've accomplished, I'm sure the opportunities will fall at your feet. I'm sure you will connect with all the right people, and the things that you want that are out there that you feel are just beyond your reach, they are there for you. You just have to put yourself out there and be confident and know that this is for you and it's going to happen for you, but you just have to put yourself out there. Some of us are not confident enough to put ourselves out there. And so that's why I'm really trying to push the importance of being confident in yourself and finding out who you are in the process to help you become more confident. It's not always easy. It's difficult to look within and be introspective and really think about who you are and how you want to show up in the world. But I believe once you start doing more of this, the more confident you'll become and the more likely you are to get the opportunities that work perfectly for you. Now, to wrap it up, again, if you are looking to transition from the classroom to teaching from anywhere, it's important to network and connect with the people who are going to help you push forward in that direction. It's important to know your assets and your transferable skills. It's important to double check where you are in your credentials, making sure that nothing's expired, right? Make sure you're reaching out to your mentors and your colleagues for recommendation letters, doing your research for the types of opportunities that will work best for you, seeing the world, having your eyes wide open when you are navigating through this world. There are ups and downs everywhere, no matter where you decide to go. But if you are going out there with an open heart and an open mind, I am sure things are going to work out for you no matter what. Now, also apply to all the opportunities that you see out there. Don't be afraid to apply because you don't think you meet the requirements or the qualifications. And then also be confident. Be confident in yourself and be confident in your abilities. You have come this far, and I'm sure that you have so many other ways to go. You have a long road ahead of you, and there are so many other opportunities that are going to cross your path on that road. You just have to be confident in yourself and in your abilities. Now, to wrap up this episode, I want to say thank you so much for listening. Our season is going to be wrapping up fairly soon, and I'm so excited that you've decided to stick around and listen to all the amazing gems that I've had to offer, from interviews to tips and tricks on how you can be able to teach abroad or teach from anywhere. And I just hope that this podcast has been useful to you and helpful in getting you on the path to being the type of person that you want to be and showing up in the world the way you want to show up. Now, it's been great. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye. Catch episodes of Love's Teaching Will Travel with your host KJ on Wednesdays each week at 7 a.m. I look forward to having you. Bye.